Yeah, the first time I came into SAY was, it was welcoming, and accepting. That's something that everybody loves, they love to be accepted. And I was accepted right in. Staff was nice, friendly, got to get along with them. They placed themselves in my shoes, even though they'd never been in it before, and still willing to help.
The first time I moved in here, I moved out of juvenile hall, and I moved here on my birthday. I had a lot of birthday cards, a lot of food, balloons. I just came back from hanging out with my friends, so the first night of staying here, it was cool, and I had my roommate, and luckily I got a cool roommate. So we were just sitting there talking, getting to know each other.
I was about between 16 and 17 when I first came to SAY. And I remember being welcomed in there, filling out some paperwork, and then I was taken to the house on Sonoma Avenue. The first night I stayed at the housing in SAY, I felt relaxed. I felt safe that night. The thing that I really liked about that house is it was a home. I mean, it was one of the older houses on Sonoma Avenue, so it was authentic and everything was wood and it was warm and it was cozy. I mean, I'd been institutionalized when I was younger, and it wasn't like that.
Social Advocates for Youth plays an important role in Sonoma County, particularly for youth who are experiencing homelessness ages 0 to 25. And we do that primarily through programs and services through 4 main pillars, which is crisis services, housing, counseling, and careers. It's such an important piece of the work that we do because it provides a basic need to youth who shouldn't choose between living on the streets or having a place to stay.
Whether they are dealing with homelessness, whether they're fleeing an abusive partner or trafficker, whether they're getting out of jail and they need stabilization and they've been referred to us by somebody else, usually something has happened in their life that will bring them over here.
My father wasn't in the picture. My mom was a practicing addict and also had some mental health issues. I had learned real quickly that I didn't want to have my mom's lifestyle, so living in her house wasn't conducive. I didn't know really quite where to go.
For a youth to come here and ask for help, it takes a lot. And for a youth who's experiencing homelessness, drug addiction, severe mental health, sometimes it may be a little bit more difficult to ask for that sort of assistance.
It really can make such a fundamental difference in the trajectory of someone's life if they have like one supportive person standing beside them or next to them. Without places like this, those young folks just seem to get forgotten.
Being a kid is already tough. It's so profoundly lost and confusing, but to not be able to have that background from your family. A warm bed, a safe place to be, not being judged, being around other people who may have even gone through what you can, makes you feel not alone, makes you feel safe, makes you hopeful for the future.
The importance of these services is that we are affecting how these kids participate in the community. I think when you can get to the root and really help them, deal with whatever issues or trouble that they're dealing with, they can show up as their best selves, which affects their behaviors in the community. So if they're healthier, our community is healthier.
One connection and one night can change the life of a child. So therefore, every connection and every touch point is so very important. One of the things that we have to do is keep that connection alive.
I am thankful that SAY is taking kids that feel like they can't rely on anybody else to be there. And if any of those kids are feeling that desperation and that loneliness and that separation just from the world, I want to thank SAY so much for bringing me back into the fold and at least starting the welcome package until I found something a little bit more permanent and allowed me to have a safe place to breathe, to stay until I was able to get my bearings for a minute.
Your support will go a long way in helping our young people not only find a place to call home, but also help the staff in case management, in counseling, in careers, and all the ancillary services that helps our youth find their path to self-sufficiency. Thank you.